On this episode of Paint Society, we're going to settle the long-term debate. Is it the painter or is it the gun?
Don't overthink it, it's just paint.
Oh, thanks for joining me on this episode of Paint Society. Now, in this episode, we're going to be using two guns that will range over $1,200. And, well, that is a lot of money. But will these guns make it easier for you to spray paint? And the guns that we're going to be using are the DV1 base coat and the DV1 clear coat. Now, this is the first time I'm using this gun in years, and I got the C2 cap, which has a much better fan, and a lot of people saying they really love it. So we're going to start off with our base. But first, let me show you what we got in the booth. This is a 2007 Honda CR-V with around 60,000 miles. Now, these are amazing, awesome cars for their age, and they still hold their value very well. Now, we had some damage to the fender here, which we went ahead and we're replacing that fender, which can be seen right over here. Now, what I did is I went ahead and I sealed the fender first, day before, then I come back the next day and I give it a scuff with 600. You get a better job, and if you have a little bit extra time, if you're not in a high production shop, or if you can arrange your time very well, you will get a smoother finish by doing so. Now, over on the hood, it was impossible to blend into a hood like this, so we had to go ahead and primer the whole hood because there was chips, and we're gonna take it into the fender here and we'll make sure we blend into there so our bumper, when we go to paint it, it matches. Now, over here, since we are replacing the fender, we'll do a blend into the door. Now, can you do this with a cheap gun? Well, you absolutely can. It's just gonna be a little bit harder. Now, even if a good spray gun in the wrong hands is not gonna do you any justice either. But a good spray gun that can atomize well is gonna help you along on the paint job. We're ready to start the painting process, and we're gonna start with our DV1 and a clear transparent base coat or intercoat clear. I'll put this in the description. It's basically, it's gonna give me a good visual cue of how my blend is, and it's gonna help my blend. So I'm gonna put it on my blend panels, which is the fender, and on this door over here. Now, the way I run this gun is fan wide open and fluid just about one turn in from wide open, and the PSI around 15 to 16 PSI. I got a 1.3 in it, and this is the B+, meaning it can be used with solvent and water base. Clear base coat's down. Now we're going to start with our B525P. What we're going to do is we're going to put it on our areas that are primed first, and then we'll blend in on a second and third coat. Now, the reason why I like this gun is a little bit more expensive gun and has the ability to spray at a low PSI, meaning a higher transfer efficiency rate. What does that mean? That means more paint goes on the panel and less in our air. You save on material, and you get a nicer, smoother finish. Once that first coat's down, you might look at this and say, that looks horrible. Yeah, it does. That's because it's not done. And that's the difference of an experienced painter knowing that this is just the first stage. But allow the paint to flash as it is now, and as it flashes, it will be dull. That's what I love about this gun, is that it puts down a nice even coat, not overdoing it, and the paint's gonna flash off smoother and quicker. You can still get the same results with a cheaper gun. You just might have to dial it in a little bit more. Over here, we're not touching our driver's side door blend until we get full coverage on my hood and on my fender. Let's pop down another coat. base is all flashing off, and you can see there is no model. It looks really, really good. Now, is that because of technique? Not really. That is because the gun just put it down effortlessly. I gotta say, I didn't do anything special. I didn't reduce the paint any special way. I just put it on and used my basic technique and let the gun do itself. Basically, you want to allow the gun to perform. All you do is guide the gun where you want it to go, and it will lay the paint down. Look at this blend. Nothing fancy, just use a little crosshatch pattern when blending. I can't tell a difference at all. We're ready to clear. Well, let me first check out that clear coat gun. And this is a DV1 clear coat gun, and I'm gonna have to put the C2 cap on there. This is a C1, and this is a C2 that is recently available to us guys in the States, and I hear great things about it, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. What I like about this type of DV1 paint gun is it's light, and you don't need a regulator, so you don't need that extra regulator holding up your air or getting it in the way. We'll run this between 21 PSI, maybe 18 to 21 PSI. We'll see how it performs. Let's get spraying. All right, so first coat went down pretty nice. Let's take a look. I didn't hammer it on too much. I just want to get it on there so that when I put my second coat on, man, it's going to stick really, really well. I got a couple little dry areas right in here. Not too concerned with it. Second coat, man, when we put it on, it's going to look really, really, really good. What I want to do with my gun, I want to make a couple of adjustments. I'm going to take my fluid, I'm going to back it out just a little bit. I had one turn in, and then I'm going to take my PSI, I'm going to lower it just a little bit so I can get a little bit more clear on the panel rather than air. Okay, so this has just been flashing off for about a good 10 minutes. We're ready to hit up that second coat. Well, that second coat of clear is all drying. Man, that looks good. I'm gonna check it out tomorrow once we unmask it, take a look at it. Now, what did I need to do? What I was seeing was that the first coat wasn't going on great, so I had to kind of move towards the panel a little bit more, and I was about, I would say 4 inches away. So if the wall is the panel, I was about that close. And the reason why I did that is because I want to get to the meat of the panel, excuse me, into the meat of the fan pattern. Because if you spray it too far away, you're getting the mist. But if you get a little bit closer and find that middle ground for the clear and what you're using, you can put down finishes just like this. Now, here's my thoughts on this particular gun. Now, I will say, when using this gun, it's not going to spray like a Sada or one of those guns that just pounds it on. It's a little bit slower, but here's the difference. You can spray with a little bit more confidence with this particular gun. So when I was spraying, I wasn't too concerned about running it because it just puts the clear on the panel so well, and I got to say so lightly, if that makes sense. I'm not worried if I get too close or, you know, if I kind of move wrong. It's very forgiving, if you will. So I look forward to using it a lot more. But this gun is over 600 bucks, and so is the base coat gun. So is it the painter or is it the gun? Well, I don't agree either way. It's a combination of both. Okay, I wouldn't be able to go in there and lay down a smooth finish and a quick finish as effortlessly as I did if I had a gun that wasn't up to the standards of something like this. Now, could I have done it? Yeah, but it would have taken a little bit more time, possibly a little bit more material. Here's my advice to you. If you're trying to consider, do you need an expensive gun or not, consider what field are you in? Are you a hobbyist? Or are you an experienced professional? Or are you starting off in the field? We have so many different levels of experience on Paint Society that one gun does not fit all. If you're a professional looking to get in the field, do yourself a favor, help yourself out, get you some guns that's gonna help you along the way. I'm not saying spend 600 bucks, but don't get the cheaper guns that, well, are not gonna really help you out with those silvers and laying down those finishes. Get something that's going to work with you and not work against you. If you're a hobbyist just starting off, don't waste your money on something like this. This is way too expensive for you, and you won't see the difference. Now, don't go spraying and buying something super cheap, because I don't want you guys to get deterred about this awesome trade that we're in. Being around the maybe $150, $200 range, in and around there, if you're looking to stay in the business. Or if you're looking to get your hands wet, you can get something a little bit cheaper and just get the hang and move up from there. You guys can make your own decisions based off what gun fits your field. I hope you learned something, and I hope cleared something up along the way of when it comes to purchasing a gun. So guys, this is Brian from Paint Society reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. Let's unwrap this thing and let's check this thing out.